Hello, all you lovelies out there. Sandy here. So, long time no see, I feel like. It's been another month where I don't really feel like I've had much time to myself or much energy to do many videos or anything like that. And although I always had the intention for this channel to be very spontaneous and not very, you know, binding in any way. I've always felt that I went into creating this channel just as a way of, having a place to touch base and to connect with people. I never set out for this channel to become, you know, um, what's the word I'm looking for? To become a responsibility, I suppose. Um, but I still feel guilty when I'm not making regular videos for some reason, and I need to stop that. Because I'm just here to have fun and to connect with all of you guys. And yes, I have recently reached 1,000 subscribers, which is insane to me. Um, and although I now then qualify for joining the YouTube, like, what's it called? The YouTube something program where you can get money for the ads that are being placed on your videos. I haven't had any inclination of joining that program so far. I don't want to. I don't feel like I need to or want to, you know, do that sort of thing here. I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. Either way, I'm just very thrilled to have you all here. It's amazing to connect with each and every one of you. So March has come and gone very quickly, and yeah, you might notice that I'm having a bit of a low energy day today. So it's not probably as exciting as some of my other videos or wrap up videos. I've been taking things quite slowly lately. I've kind of slowed down with myself and my thinking and the processes that I do, and been slowing down in basically every aspect of my life. I feel I haven't been as fervent about things. I don't know what's going on. I think it's just a, a period of time where I need to take things slow. And as such, I this video is probably not going to be very long either, because I don't have very much to talk about. But I still wanted to touch base. I still wanted to continue with the monthly wrap up. I considered not making one this month and maybe just combining this, like, March and April. But then I thought, no, I'm going to forget things that happened in March if I don't do them now. So I thought for fun we would start with new decks this time around, because I only actually have, I have three really, but really only two, because one of them arrived yesterday and I'm filming this in April. But I'm including it here because I actually bought it quite a while ago, and it has been delivered. It's just been delivered to a friend of mine, and the parcel that she sent it on to me only arrived yesterday, and it had been sitting in the post office for a little bit because I went to visit my family over the weekend. So yeah, I'm gonna count it as a March deck anyway, just because. So and that deck is the out of print tarot of the Animal Lords, but I got the Dutch version of it. So I think the German and the Dutch version is still quite easy to get a hold of. The Dutch version is spelled like this: De Tarot van het Dierenrijk. And the backs look like this. And since it's a low Scarabeo deck, it still has the English title on there as well. Let me see if I can get that to focus on this. Hello? No. Anyway, it's a pretty cool and a bit of a weirdo deck, and I kind of love it. I haven't read with it yet since I said it just arrived yesterday. I've done a little flip through of it and such. I love this Lover's card with the Mandarin ducks. They're so pretty. I decided not to do a full like first impressions flip through of it since it's out of print, because I don't want to tempt or make anybody frustrated, because as I said, it's out of print and everybody might not be able to get a hold of it out of those who want to get it. But yes, it is a deck that I've wanted for quite a while now, and Jenny over at A Year in a Day helped me get a hold of this Dutch version from a second-hand bookstore in the Netherlands. So that was a very, very kind of her. Thank you so much, Jenny. And that was the Tarot of the Animal Lords. Then I ordered this beautiful little oracle deck called the Ritual Oracle Deck by a shop called Tangled Muses on Etsy. I believe that she had a very small batch that she released. I think her name is Lucy Tipper, if I'm not misremembering. But I found out about this beautiful little deck, I think through Candy over on her channel. And it's just, I love the artwork on this, and I love the tiny little size. And I have basically only pulled this is one of these slow decks that I've been talking about. Like it's really been feeding into my slow practice recently, because I pulled one card when I first got the deck, and that card is still sitting on my altar, and that card was Cleanse. And the deck came with this little wooden stand as well that I'm using with it, and I'm really loving this little combo. That sits on my altar, and really like I've just been kind of focusing on that energy this month. cleanse. I suppose I should or could change the card now since we've changed month. I haven't really developed a routine around it or anything yet, but I think I'm going to sit down and think about it at that. If I want to go by the moon phases or if I want to go by just the simple calendar month, I'm not sure. Either way, loving this little deck. That's the Ritual Oracle deck by Tangled Muses or Lucy Tipper. And I need to make this little bag for this. I'm feeling it in my heart that it needs a bag. Right. So the next deck is a deck that my lovely partner from brought home for me from England when he went to London for a football game in February. Sorry, in March. Hang on. Did he go in February? No. I can't remember if I showed you this one in February now or not. Hang on. Oh my goodness, you guys, I haven't even posted the... Alright, you guys, I just realized that I filmed a first impressions walkthrough of this deck that I've edited and uploaded, and I've completely forgotten to publish it. I just went to my channel to just check when did I post the walkthrough of this, because I know that I've done it, and it's not there. Talk about slow month. Oh my goodness, what am I like? Right, okay, so the deck I'm talking about is the Witch's Wisdom Oracle. And now I can't remember the creator's name, and I don't have the box around. I'm a mess. I'm an absolute unorganized mess. Either way, I trimmed this deck and now it's all bowed, and I don't really mind. I just need to use it a bit more and, soften up the cards a little bit. But I trimmed it, and it's got this gorgeous artwork by Danuta Meyer, who is one of my all-time favorite illustrators. I wish there were more decks by her. She's got the most quirky and magical artwork, and I really love it. And I haven't used this deck much yet. I'm still trying to work out how I want to incorporate it into my practice, and but I just know that the artwork is just so beautiful. There are just a few cards in here that bother me a little bit, but we will work around that, surely. So yes, this card. Fun how I am feeling drawn to this one, Cleansing, when my other card for the month was Cleanse. I'm clearly going through some kind of cleansing period in my life, which actually is a nice segue to random memories from March. And one of those is that I went through and changed the furniture around in my kitchen and cleansed out a bunch of old rubbish that had just been piling up, of things that didn't have a space, have like didn't have that I've acquired and didn't have a assigned place in my home, and it had just accumulated there. And I also got some new recycling bins because we live in the middle of the city here in Finland, or a city here in Finland, and we have a gazillion different recycling bins that we need to sort all of our rubbish into. And we live in the, our bins are a bit of a walk away, so we don't really want to go there every day. So I got some new bins, one for each thing that we need to recycle. So now we've got one for cardboard, one for plastic, one for metal, one for glass, and one for paper, and all of these kinds of things. So and it's in this corner where it now looks very tidy, and that meant that there was more space for my lovely sideboard and all the things that I want to have on there, and this beautiful like stained glass lamp that I have that that hasn't been able to, I haven't been able to turn it on because it's the sideboard has been on a wall where there is no outlet. And now, because we've moved the sideboard, I have access to a power outlet so that my lamp can shine. And yeah, so now I've got a very nice and cozy kitchen, and I'm super excited about that. And it's been helping me feel motivated to keep the kitchen clean as well, because I now have a beautiful space where I can sit and drink my tea and journal and read and things like that. So it's felt very important to me, that part, and it's also inspired me to start planning more cleansing and spring cleaning around the house, mainly sorting through the clothes and other cupboards around the house, to go through and donate things that serve no purpose in my house anymore. So that's one thing. Another thing that I could mention now as well is also kind of random, I suppose, but I got this little flower bell arrived, and it didn't have the sound that I wanted. It's a little bit off key, but I think maybe you can hear that. It's very, very magical in a way, and I love it. So these are super cute and very fairy-like in my opinion. So I've been keeping these on my altar as well and using them whenever I want a little bit of sparkle in my life. Another thing that I picked up randomly was from a local wood artist, I suppose. They make all kinds of little artworks out of wood, and I wanted something cute and practical from them to support their work. And I bought this little holder for matchboxes. So you just pop a regular matchbox in there and have a little, a much prettier matchbox. So this one can sit on my desk for whenever I want to light a candle, It's got this beautiful little mushroom on it. I thought this one was the prettiest out of them all. They also had animals of different kinds. They had one that was really cute for hedgehogs, but it was for bigger matchboxes, like this size. And for my tiny little desk, I just needed a small one, and I thought this mushroom was really, really gorgeous. So that's the one I got. I'm not sure if they ship outside of Finland or anything. This one was bought from a pop-up here in my city, but they do have a website that you can see there, kimalainen.fi, in case you're interested in seeing what else they've got. Okay, and yeah, so for like media and such, I've been playing this new game called Kena or Kena, Kena, on the PlayStation, and I've been enjoying that a lot. You play as this spirit guide who is helping release these energetic sources in the forest, and helping lost spirits let go of their regrets, so to speak. Kind of feels a bit like the premise for Spiritfarer, but it's like an open world type game, and there's actual fighting and stuff. It's not like a platformer type thing like Spiritfarer. It's beautiful, and you get these little spirit helpers that are called the Rot. I don't know why they chose to call them Rot, but they're super cute, and you can buy little hats for them. I love it. I love this game so much. It's a little bit difficult on the fighting side of things, but luckily they do have, until you get used to the mechanics of the fighting, because there's a lot of different button combinations to remember, and I'm not quite there yet, but you can change the difficulty level until you've gotten the hang of things. So that's nice, because I don't really like to, when I play games, I want to relax. I don't want to get stressed out and angry. So that's not really me. Either way, another thing that I've been doing is that I finally started watching The Mandalorian, and I've not watched it because I've never been much of a Star Wars fan. But I watched The Mandalorian, and now I suddenly am one. I just really, really love little Grogu. I squeal every time he turns up on the screen, and my partner Michael said he couldn't watch it with me if I was going to be like that. I was like, don't poo-poo. Don't poo-poo on my parade. Because yeah, I love that little guy. He's so incredibly cute. I just basically cute aggression. I get cute aggression when I see him. Either way, I'm sure that's why most people really love that show as well. It's a really good show though. It's well written, and I love the way they've edited it to kind of match the old like 70s vibe of the original Star Wars films as well. It's super cool. So now we're currently watching the Book of Boba Fett, taking it a little bit slowly so that we can then continue with the third season of The Mandalorian after we've watched that. So yeah. Now, I wanted to talk about something I haven't really broached on this channel before, and that's magic. I have not really talked much about that sort of stuff here before. because I've myself not really felt sure about where I stand. But I've been reading a lot and thinking about things a lot, and I realized that a lot of the things I do can probably be classed as magical workings um, without me even noticing it, really. And I think this is part of my slow practice that I've been doing. How I've been noticing more and more of these things. And one of the things that I wanted to talk to you about that I have been doing this past month and that has really helped me is connecting partly with my joy and with my deceased grandmother, who passed away well over 10 years ago now, and who I feel like I never really got to grieve properly. And I've been struggling with my depression lately. I'm getting quite personal here now. But I've been struggling with my depression lately, and I've used different kinds of tools to try and get through that, but nothing has really helped much. But the one thing that has helped is working with feeling close to my grandmother by wearing these amber earrings that used to belong to her. Because I've always felt close to amber overall. Amber is a very warm feeling and soft and caring gem. It's not a crystal per se, or it's solidified tree resin, and these earrings used to belong to my grandmother, and my dad gave them to me once my granddad had passed away earlier this year. He asked me if I wanted to have these, and I said, of course, yes, thank you very much. And I've been wearing these pretty much every day for the last month, or at least the last 2-3 weeks. Together with an amber necklace that I'm actually not wearing at the moment. And it's just really markedly, quite magically, actually improved my mood. I have always been a little bit on the fence with the using of crystals and such. I've never really... I've always loved crystals. I have a bunch of crystals because I love the look of them. I love the feel of them. I attribute energies to them more as a, what's it called, a mnemonic device, kind of like holding a crystal and thinking that and having it as a placeholder for an energy that I want to remember during the day, that sort of thing. And I've always kind of felt like, or said to myself, that if they have other energies and they can help me with other things, it will do so either way. And they can't harm me unless they're toxic. But I don't ingest anything that has to do with crystal water or anything like that. But either way, I've been very open-minded about the whole thing, but honestly, the way that I feel these earrings or the amber has helped me this month has been nothing short of remarkable. Of course, it could be all kinds of other factors, or the fact that, I've quite dramatically also changed the way I've tried to approach things and look at things lately. And it could just be that a number of things have finally, converged and and resulted in this kind of reaction. Um, but either way, it feels pretty darn special and pretty magical, to me, how my mood has elevated this last month, and how it feels kind of like a weight is lifted off of me. And I know that that's a lot to attribute to a couple of amber, pieces of amber hanging from my ears. But I associate that with them now. And I also feel closer to my grandmother when I wear them, which in itself is, is worth it. Um, or what I'm trying to say is, like with all kinds of magic, it might not be perceivable or the reality for anybody else, but it's a reality for me, and that's what matters in my life, if you know what I mean. I'm feeling a bit awkward talking about this because I'm not used to talking about this sort of thing. Um, Not freely or openly. It's something I've had always inside of me and thought about. But I've never had people in my life where I can talk about these kind of spiritual or witchy ideas. So yeah, but that's where I'm at with Amber, and I'm having a very strong connection to Amber right now. And yeah, I'm gonna continue working with Amber, because it's really been helping me. So the next thing that I wanted to talk to you about, I was going to show you more of the decks that I've been working with this month, but instead, I feel like I keep just. I mean, I know this is a tarot channel. It is. It still is. Um, but I feel like I've been showing these same decks um, so many times now. Although maybe not this one. I can't actually remember if I've shown this one on my channel or not. But it's a deck that I've been working with pretty consistently since I got it, and that's the Dreams of Gaia. The Dreams of Gaia Tarot. I bought it secondhand on Facebook, and it arrived pretty banged up, so I trimmed it and edged it in black. And it was just an instant love connection between me and this deck. I was not expecting it at all. It was like it just clicked for me, this deck, even without reading the guidebook. I worked with it for the first few weeks without even touching the guidebook because I wanted to form a connection with it on my own. And honestly, you guys, I love this deck so much. I love this deck so much. It's insane the feelings this deck gives me. And once I started picking up the guidebook, like mind blown. It's just no, I can't even describe it. It's so potent. It gives me chills just holding this deck. Yeah, I can't. It's so clever, and it goes its own way. Yes. So I mean, even if I don't, I've been very adamant to just use this more intuitively, and I've tried my hardest not to, you know, attach the traditional Rider-Waite-Smith meanings onto it. So when I pull a card and I see the number and the suit, I try really hard to not see this as two of wands. You know what I mean? Because that would just confuse me. Instead, I look at the picture and I look into the faces of the person in the card, and I notice all the different things. And I form a meaning, an intuitive meaning in my head. And I just run with that. And it's been an amazing time so far. Yeah, really, really loving it. And I think I might have mentioned this deck in my previous monthly video, but there you go. So what I've been doing lately is I haven't done many readings. Instead, I have when the desire has come upon me, I have done a reading or so, and then I've journaled a bit about it. But mostly I've been pulling a card and then leaving it on my altar. So I've got a reading here that I think I might have shown you because it's been on my altar now for 2 months. And this is also part of my slow practice at the moment. And it's the reading that I did with the Wild Whiskers and the Tarot Nova. Sorry for reaching. Where I pulled the peacock, proud peacock, with the it's been up there for so long that it's dusty. With the keywords, prestige, self-respect, and awareness. And the incantation of regal bird bursting with color, your confidence and grace I would know. And with that reading I pulled, or with that card, I pulled the Devil and the Sun. And when I pulled this reading, it was such an intense and immediate response as to it just held such meaning to me when I pulled these cards. You know how I have these destructive tendencies within myself that gives into a bunch of different unhealthy behavior and temptations that gets in the way. I get in my own way to be the self-respecting, powerful, proud peacock that I deserve to be. And how I can, be more aware of these self-destructive tendencies that I've got, and how I need to be more aware, look at the truth of things and step into that proudly. And I will kind of, the sun is where it's at, the sun is where I'm gonna get to. And how the sun, I'm getting all sappy now, but but you know what I mean. It's kind of got like this really deep sense of truth to it. How I've just left it up for so long, and I'm just gonna keep having it up there because I feel like I need this reminder to not self-sabotage, and to look at myself and the things that I do in a more truthful way, and be aware of why I'm doing the things that I'm doing, and to constantly catch myself when I'm doing it, because most of it is unconscious. You know, it's bad habits, it's things that's been around forever and that I might not even realize is bad for me. Things that I do because they feel good in the moment, and then afterwards I might have an anxiety attack, you know. But why am I having an anxiety attack? I haven't, there's nothing, you know, there's nothing wrong at the moment. Nothing has gone wrong. Nothing is bad. Everything's good. But then I start thinking about it and I realize that I did something that went against my goals or who I want to be or my view of myself, or I gave in an argument where I shouldn't have, or, you know, things like that. Little things in everyday life that I do that doesn't show respect to myself. I don't show myself respect. And that's the point of this reading. It's like, it's so poignant, it's so spot on, that I don't show myself enough self-respect in little things, which can then trigger a whole episode that my subconscious, that I know deep inside wasn't good for me, and my body and my subconscious is telling me, you violated your own boundaries, you know. So this is a very, very, very important reading for me that I've been keeping up on my desk, and I return to it every now and then because it's just, yeah, it's it's so good. Another card, like I showed you, was this ritual cleanse ritual card, and that one I think is going to stay up for the month of April as well, just because I still have a lot of work in that department to do. Then I've got three more cards to show you. One of them is actually from the Dreams of Gaia, and that is the choice card, which I pulled about a week ago, and I felt it was very I just felt intuitively that it was a very important card for me to keep out. I'm reading the guidebook and thinking about the choice card. It is the first card of the deck, 0, and as it came up, I was like, okay, this means something really big and I need to study this card. So I'm keeping it out for the time being, so that I can be reminded to study it whenever I have the time to do so. And the next card is the first card I pulled from the Nicoletta Ciccoli tarot, which also incidentally happens to be the Fool card. So I've got two Fool cards on my desk next to each other, because it's so insane to me how they both kind of popped up. Or it feels very, it feels very meaningful. And the I got the Nicoletta Ciccoli ages and ages ago, and I haven't even flipped through it because I didn't feel ready. I didn't feel ready for it, and I just listened to that voice inside of me. And the other night, I was looking at my I was pulled towards my tarot shelf, and the deck that first caught my eye was the Checoli Tarot, and I felt like, okay, I'm at a point right now where I think I could get to know this deck. So I flipped through it, took my time with it, and then I shuffled it and I asked in what way this deck could be helpful for me and my healing and my journey. And I got the full card, and the beautiful part of the guidebook is that it was written by Linnea with a stone, which is one of my favorite tarot creators, and she puts it in such a beautiful way from this deck. Basically, to go your own way and march to your own drum, follow your own heart. And I felt that was such a powerful answer from this deck, that it will help me to do just that, to find my own voice and my own wants and wills, which is exactly the kind of thing we've been working on in my therapy sessions. And it's so magical when these kinds of coincidences or things happen in tarot and in life, and it's just up on my altar right now to just remind me of that, to listen to my inner voices. I don't hear voices. Okay, but to listen to myself and my inner voice, and to be aware of them and respect them, basically. And the last card that I've been keeping up on my altar is my monthly Woodland Wardens card, which this month was the Bobcat and Blackthorn with the keyword patience, which also ties into the whole slow practice thing at the moment. To have patience, to take things slow, to not always have to feed into the more mentality. I've been feeling very stressed out about all of that, and I'm not embarking on any kind of what's the word people have been using? No buy years, deep dive years. I'm not doing any of that. I'm just more and more focusing on being patient and taking things slow and letting things take the time they need. And not just rush from one thing to another, but to really stop and think and journal and feel what's right for me, and not just on a whim start doing things that others are also doing at the moment. Because of course I watch all of these beautiful YouTube videos by all of these beautiful YouTubers and all of my friends that are on here now, and I get inspired by all of them, and I feel like, oh, I want to do a Deccan walk. I want to study this. I want to study Marseille or Thoth, or, I feel really inspired and excited, and then I feel like, and then I get overwhelmed and stressed out because I want to do all of these beautiful things that all of my friends are doing, of course. But then I stop, I look at my bobcat, and I think, patience, slow things down, do yourself. do your own thing. Do follow what feels good for you in the moment and what you've got away available to you. And find the things that feel magical and special to you right now. And by you, I mean me, and of course you can do that as well. But what I mean is, in order for me to not start to feel overwhelm and stress and a feeling of lack in my life, I need to take things slow, be more aware of where I'm at and what I am doing, and what the things that I've got for my disposal. And that's what I've been doing. And I think all of that combined has really brought about some enduring and positive changes in my life. And for that, I am beyond grateful. So, yeah. I suppose that we should end on that very highfalutin note. I don't know. I'm feeling a little bit self-conscious and awkward right now. And I feel like I've been sharing a lot of very, very, very personal and personal things, really. I'm feeling a bit exposed right now. So yeah. But anyway, I hope that you enjoyed this video and that it was helpful for anyone or each and every one of you. Please take care of yourselves and be well, my friends. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye.